heart-to-heart conversation with him, and even asked him, like, what does Black theater need? And he cut it right to the chase. He was like, we tell the stories, we need this. What we need is support. We need money. I mean, he didn't cut those corners. He came right to the front, and he was like, what we need is money. We can tell stories all day long. Y'all can support all you want to, but we need y'all to, one, support what we're doing, and then we need the money.
And that's what makes things happen, man. Without that money, man, not too much going on.
But not exactly, just have that rich conversation with him, and even he acknowledged Bianca Jones, who's an up and coming theater person, as somebody that he saw as being one of the heir apparents and things of that nature. So just those kind of conversations. And like I said, we went down there on a whim and wound up having. I'll have to check with Calvin, but that conversation might have been anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. So it was definitely worth having made that trip and everything down there to check it out and everything. So it was, like I said, and we had no clue what our plan was going to be. I knew I was going to pick up some cards here and there, maybe see a couple of friends that I know come every year, but and touch base with them real quick. But outside of that, I had no clue what would happen. But I just knew that I needed to be part of that because it's almost like a ritual kind of thing to be part of that and to be involved with that almost since, in fact, Mom was living in Winston at the time when it started. So I have been involved since the beginning, since the first one. So in one form or fashion. So definitely wanted to continue that tradition. And I can honestly say that I have still not missed one. Like I said, some of them might be a little bit more involved than others. There might have been some years I actually did some directing or did some Rita's Theater acting or did some even some PR for them and did some other more active roles. But I can honestly say that every year I have at least set my foot there on that ground. And even one year I remember actually doing the commemoration for the founder of the Rita's Theater after he had passed and helping with some of that planning and helping get some of the people to talk at that. And that was, I think, almost 4 years ago. But definitely, I've been involved in different levels and different ways of doing it. But just to say that I was there is a wonderful thing.
Oh, yeah, most definitely, man, most definitely. Yes, sir.
I think I heard
Yeah, man, we got a doorbell, so we're actually going to bring them in 1 second. Got this short PSA that we're going to rock out real quick. It's Straight Talk with Dean and Mark, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, I'm your host, Smokey Colbert, filling in for Smokey because after 75 years of...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Turns out there's much more to say. Nearly 90% of wildfires are caused by us humans being careless, dumping our used barbecue coals willy-nilly. Guess the song was wrong. We did start the fire. That's why I respect Mother Nature and her trees, whether coniferous or new car scented. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
All right, we're back. Welcome to Straight Talk with Dean and Mark. You are now on the line. Tell us who you are and where you're calling from.
Marianne Ball. Hey, it's
Hello?
Zainab Baloch from Raleigh.
Hey, Zainab,
how you doing?
we're so glad to have you call back again. Dean, this is a guest we've had in the past. She had run for city council, Muslim sister that had run for city council, but she's going for the big prize this time around. She wants to be the mayor of Raleigh. So, Zainab, tell us how the campaign is going and what you got going on, because when I saw that you wanted to be the mayor, I'm like, that's the kind of sister that we need running the city of Raleigh. Like I said, I'm in Durham, but I do keep my eyes on what's going on in Raleigh, and I think you would be a great leader for the city of Raleigh.
Wow. Thank you so much. First off, thank you just for having me, and thank you so much for your kind words. And I totally agree with you, which is why I'm running for the mayor of Raleigh. And just to reiterate, my name is Zainab Baloch, and you can find out more information about me at zainabforraleigh.com. But yeah, so one thing I think I've always really admired about Durham right now is that there's a lot of people doing a lot of good progressive work and really leading new initiatives and addressing and putting the people's problems first. These are issues we're dealing with not only all around the triangle but around nationally. And I think it's ready. If there's a time where right now Raleigh's really ready to also be that true progressive change. And being the capital of North Carolina, they need to really lead progressive change and put in be able to take these have these more innovative ideas and take more risk in really addressing, like, head-on prioritizing affordable housing, climate change, and transportation, and just the vast inequities that are growing in our city. So just, being a Raleigh native, I'm really, concerned and also just really inspired to really, fight for my home and to really make it and envision a city that we would want it to be.
And I'm imagining that you probably are sick and tired of hearing people like those that are on the national level talk about and attack some of your peers, because I know that definitely the one that's in the D.C. area has definitely attacked the two sisters. I believe both of them are, I know at least one is Muslim. I can't remember who the other one is, but definitely AOC as well. And he's always on a regular attack of them. But it seems to me that they're doing a lot more in terms of putting out solid plans than he's even attempting to put out. Even when, as me and Dean were talking about, even when it comes to like these issues that are hard hitting, like what's going on with our things that are happening with violence and things of that nature, he's given a lot of platitudes, but not really coming up with concrete plans. So it seems to me that you're already thinking of ways to address some of these issues on a city level.
Yeah, and I think it's so important to realize that and like really figure out how that national narrative plays into our city and like how it impacts the residents of our city. Like Trump had that rally in Greenville, and he, you had people there saying, "Send her back." That hit like home at another level, but it was honestly very like frightening to see a rally of people so openly okay with being hateful. And what we've seen is that like there's research that shows that any place that Trump had a rally in 2016, hate crimes increased by 226%. He's put our state and our city honestly in danger. We saw a lady a week after that, openly call African-American woman at a restaurant in Raleigh the N-word and then go on national TV and say she'd do it again. This is not where our society needs to be, and it's becoming a place where it's no longer safe for people of color and marginalized communities. And I think it's more important than ever to really elect leaders that recognize that and really prioritize making sure our communities feel safe.
Definitely, and I can see where you would definitely be a voice that would do that and things of that nature. Have you had any incidences yourself where you've running this campaign and run across some of these people that are so adamant against you? Because I do know that Raleigh does have a lot of art pope types and those kind of folks that are definitely very much in the reactionary kind of community. So I was just wondering, as you've gone to these campaign events, have you had to face any of this kind of vitriol kind of hate directly?
Yeah, it's interesting actually. After the Ilhan Omar rally, we had posted about it, and on it we had some troll comments, and one was like, we put like we're not going anywhere, and someone commented and was like, y'all need to go back. And then like unite against evil, they put their own lives in danger, or go back to where you came from, etc. In person, it's never been directly in person other than very much like passive aggressive. I think just growing up in Raleigh, a lot of the stuff in person I got was people yelling for a car, any like vulgar terms, or like not being addressed in shopping centers, just making comments about just you need to be saved, or just different things. And so for that, I think I've gotten used to it, but I've just taken a really stance of like, I'm not accepting this in another way. And once if it threatens my physical being, then, there needs to be some other action there. But it happens. And I will say one of the other things that might be more common in person is like, advice that is meant to be well-meaning, but is like clear that I'm not completely American, or like I've gotten comments like, you should wear red, white, and blue all the time so people really, know you're an American. And so that for me is always difficult to kind of understand and know how to respond to.
And have you gotten, because I know here in Durham, and we had her as a guest a while back, and this was the kind of comments that come after we had her, and I'm hoping to have her back on at some point and everything. But have you had a lot of people that are trying to question your citizenship? Because I know here in Durham, people are always attacking Javiera because she has some roots from Chile, and people are like trying to do that whole thing that they did with Obama, where they're trying to discredit her as being not quote unquote American, and therefore not being able to even be considered for the office that she's running for city council. I was wondering, in Raleigh, have you faced any of that where people are trying to attack both your nationality as well as try to make it seem as if you shouldn't be running?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We've gotten so many comments around because I'm a Muslim that we shouldn't be allowed, that this is America and that this is a Christian country and that we shouldn't be allowed to be in office, or that if I'm going to be elected to office, then, all chaos will run loose. And really like pinpointing that it's because, like saying things like that and saying go back to your own country and make those changes there, which, I was born and raised here. So it's hard to take those comments because what really what are the criteria for running for office? Like what determines who belongs here if not, them being born and raised here? But it is based off my looks, my religion, my color, of people just automatically having this instant hate to say, you don't belong here. And it doesn't matter that I know nothing about you, but because I, for whatever reason, don't like you or your people or whatever, I'm going to make that decision that you don't belong here. So it's fair, but I know I belong here, so we're going to keep going through it.
Definitely. And what's the response when folks realize that you're also a young person in terms of being a young activist and a young politician? Because I know here in Durham, and I think we talked about that the last time they had you on, that sometimes there's a automatic stereotype that because you're young, you shouldn't be you have to earn your time and earn your keep, and it is too early for you to have your voice. And you're talking about running as the mayor of one of the largest, definitely the capital city, and probably one of the top 4 or 5 in terms of size cities and everything. So what kind of response are you getting when people are realizing that you are a young person running? Are you getting a lot of kickback from that as well?
Oh, yeah. That's add another one to the list. That is one that comes up a lot, and it's just interesting because I don't think age is what makes someone a good leader or not. It's really about experiences, how, your ability to inspire people towards greater change and the ability to empathize and relate to different communities. All of my experience has been in activism, advocacy, community organizing, and service to the community. Both, and I can proudly say I've worked with almost every community in Raleigh on some type of project or issue, whether it be interfaith, whether it be in the African American community, whether it's in the Muslim community. And if there was an academic qualification for council, it probably would be having a master's in public administration, which I also have, which I think only none of the top 4 candidates have an MPA. But at the end of the day, it's about someone who's going to be able to stand up and do what's right for the people, to say, I understand that we're developing at an incredible at a growth rate that we're not even able to keep up with. But while we're developing, we're also going to develop the people that are being harmed by this development. So really investing resources in places that we care about but haven't really put our money where our mouth is.
Yeah, definitely. That's a very important thing. And before you got on the call, me and Dean were talking about just all of this stuff that's going on with hate crimes and things of that nature. You actually alluded to it and how that has been an increase every city that he has stopped at and everything. But for those that are involved in that struggle against hate crimes or just against hate in general, what kind of words of encouragement would you give to people, and what kind of solutions do you think that we can have to kind of stop this madness? Because it does seem like we're definitely having a lot of people that are even feeling more empowered that they can hate irregardless of people's religions, class differences, sexual orientations, or whatever. So what kind of message would you give to people to try to encourage them to maintain this struggle and this fight?
Yeah, especially right now, especially after just what happened in Dayton and El Paso, it's really easy to just feel very hopeless. and really, I don't know, just not believe in this system and that it's really made for us and that there's anything that we can do.